Hello everybody, K-Whip here, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video we are going to be talking about the Hush, which is the Pinnacle Gambit bow, which I've been working towards getting for quite a while now, and I have finally acquired it. And I am now quite disappointed, because the bow really isn't all that great, as I'll kind of detail throughout this video. It's got the potential to make nice plays, but the majority of the time it's a fairly weak option, and it's rather disappointing. And disclaimer for this video, I'm coming from the perspective of console right now. That's what I play on, and that's how I'm reviewing this bow, because it can be a little bit better on PC, as hip firing is a little bit more accurate and easier to do. So on PC this bow plays a little bit differently, but for console it's pretty weak, and I'll kind of explain why. So if you're unfamiliar with the Hush, the special thing about it is the perk Archer's Gambit, and this is an improved version of Archer's Tempo that makes you draw faster than you do with Archer's Tempo, as well as it lasts quite a bit longer. However, to proc Archer's Gambit, instead of just getting a headshot like you do with Archer's Tempo, you need to get a hip-fire headshot. And once you do that, your bow charges extremely fast and you have that buff for quite a while. And when Archer's Gambit is procced, your bow is probably the highest performing bow that you can actually come across in the game, because it charges extremely fast and you can still just double body people to pick up kills, because the Hush is in the Subtle Calamity archetype, where it has a slower charge rate, being 760. And this archetype for bows is alright, but it's kind of a worse performer than the faster rate of fire archetype, just because that archetype can actually have somewhat of a competitive time to kill, and the slower charging bows struggle with that. And that's definitely the case with the Hush. If you don't get Archer's Gambit to proc, then the time to kill of your bow is really quite poor and isn't going to be competitive with other guns in the Crucible. So what that means is that it's pretty essential for you to go out and try to get Archer's Gambit to proc. So simply that means that you have to be hip firing a lot. And honestly, it's not very easy to be landing hip fire shots, and especially hip fire headshots. It's kind of rare actually, and doesn't happen all that many times per match. So the result of that is that you're using just kind of standard Hush a lot of the time. And what is Hush without its perk? Well, it's a highly accurate bow, because it has opening shot and accuracy masterwork and a high accuracy stat. But it's a very slow charging one, so its time to kill isn't good, as I mentioned before. Then you add on to the fact that you're likely hip firing usually with it, so that's going to hurt your accuracy and consistency and make it so you're really doing something more challenging than using a normal bow. So it's kind of like when you're using Hush, you're using a bad bow for most of the time that you're using it. But when you actually get Archer's Gambit to proc, then you have the best bow in the game for like 6 seconds. And so yeah, Hush is really just not very good on console. It's quite disappointing. The hipfire gameplay is just really hard to get a hang of, and it's really not too consistent. And I even put a freehand grip mod on my Hush, which makes your hipfire accuracy even more accurate. But it still remained to be a challenge to land those hipfire shots. And then another bummer with the hipfire is that your accuracy when you're in the middle of the air and hipfiring is even worse. Like the cone of where your arrow can actually go widens a lot when you're in the middle of the air and trying to hipfire. So that's one of my favorite things about bows, is that their mid-air accuracy is pretty good and you can take advantage of that quite a lot. But when you use the Hush and are hipfiring, that's not really the case. So that's kind of another detractor to the weapon for me. And so overall, yes, you can do some cool things with the Hush. Occasionally you're going to pull off some really nice plays. However, majority of the time you're using something that is a subpar bow. And bows in their current state, you kind of need a good roll on them to actually perform well with them for the most part. And really, after my time using the Hush, it just really makes me appreciate other bows and made me want to use them more. Because I was missing things like having good range and mid-air accuracy, and really just accuracy in general, which is kind of lacking with Hush when hip firing compared to normal bows. So yeah, Hush was a bit disappointing. I wouldn't recommend grinding for it for PvP purposes. And that's going to do it for the video for me. So thank you for watching, and see you later. No!
Don't want to back on the Zach channels a little bit. What was sick? It's so...
I can't see anything.
Neither can I.
But Archer's Gambit still got him.
Flying in the dark is scary, dog.
No! I should have regened a little bit more before I challenged there. How is this working?
3 minutes remain. This is amazing. Double down. Zone B.
That was pretty good.